Hi chums. Okay, seeing as we're in the greenhouse, I might as well do a wee roundup. Now, I have to say at this stage, I've been sick for the last 4 weeks and I haven't been down here at all much, only in the last couple of days. My wife, who is an angel sent from heaven, has once again pulled me out of a hole and did the watering down here. So things are looking pretty good. So those are the Gardener's Delight tomatoes. And you can see they're doing very well. These ones here are particularly good. Now, I've noticed something here. I'm starting to get blight in the greenhouse. It's because in August we get very warm, humid, wet weather, and it's hard to keep a greenhouse cool and dry, and it's just the humidity that seems to get them. This is a tomato called Sweet Million, which didn't do very much. But you can see there's lots of stuff coming out now. That's rocket. I'm having a big problem with rocket or arugula this year. It just shoots or bolts. I cannot get it to grow. It's the first year I've had this problem and I just don't know what I'm doing wrong. There's another one called Lucciola, I think. I'm sure our Italian friends could correct my pronunciation there. And I think it's Lucciola. And it's like a plum-shaped tomato and it's very nice. We're back to Sweet Million over here again. You can see I had to take a lot of the leaves off because they were actually getting like really bad blight on them. And these plants in front here, Lucciola again, and they're doing fine. I'll go back up here again because I've got some peppers. This is where my peppers are. We've just got some flowers on them. Oh look, no, oh look. Oh, things are coming on. I didn't even notice those. There's one, I see there's one at the back there. I'll pull that boy off because he's done. So we've got one there. And we're starting to get little peppers here. But they're getting affected by the blight. So there's something, this parsley I put in. That's doing okay. I've started growing lettuces in pots this year, as I told you. And it has worked very well. Because they don't get attacked by any sort of slugs and stuff. And they're free to grow so long as you remember to pot them on, because they do try to they do get pot bound. Once they get pot bound they start bolting. So these are the Gary, where do you see this? Look, Japanese cucumbers. Now this has all happened in the last few days. Well, sorry, it hasn't. I've only noticed it happening because, as I say, I've been ill and I haven't been down here much. So I'm going to have to try these boys this evening before they get too big. But they're starting to die back. I'll cut all that bad stuff off. This is another cucumber here called Market Moor. And it's doing very well. If I can just find what... Oh, they're just walking all over my tripod here. Right, we'll see if I can find one. Yeah, there's one there. Now that's an outdoor cucumber. But it doesn't do very well outdoors here because it's too cold. Those are just some lettuces I put into the ground to see what would happen, but they bolted. And there's a salvaged tomato, and it's actually putting out fruit because it's being neglected, and it thinks it's going to die. So the fruit is actually ripening faster than the tomatoes up here. There's the other bean experiment, and it's exactly the same as before. The 50-50, 50%. Perlite and 50% compost is doing better. I'm going to rip all these experiments out because I've no more room. Those are some peppers that were left over. There's my Japanese peppers, Gary. That's where they are at the moment. They're not very big. And I don't know if I'm going to get any fruit at all. But I was late getting them in, and the weather... Well, sorry, I wasn't so much late getting them in as the weather was so bad when I put them in that I missed a chance of a fortnight, and by missing that fortnight, I just ended up missing the best of the growing. And then it was so cold in April, May and June, and the start of July, they just didn't do it at all. But we'll see what happens. There's a cucumber called Saladin, and it's a bit of a brute, you know. That thing there is that's over a foot long, that boy there. And there's another one down there, look. And the thing is with this one, it's a long season cucumber. That one's about 1.5 feet long. It's a long season cucumber and it doesn't mind getting really long. It doesn't lose its taste. This is one here called Mini Munch, which is a lovely little cucumber, but you have to eat them in around about that size there, about 3 or 4 inches long. Once they get longer, they do lose their taste, they become slightly bitter. There's another Japanese pepper in the ground to try and get it to go, but it's got the height, but it has no flowers on it yet. More gardener's delight here. And once again, this particular spot here, this top corner in the greenhouse, seems to produce strange tomatoes. The stems grow together in the big thick stems. Where do you see the amount of tomatoes? Look. Look at that there for a bunch of tomatoes. I have no idea what goes on in that corner, but every time I plant a tomato there in this particular spot, it puts out a huge amount of tomatoes, but it has really deformed stem. See in here, I can't really find it. The stems tend to grow together and blend together into one big thick stem. So it's like one tomato makes two of itself. It's a phenomenon I can't understand, but it happens in that particular spot every year. This is a tomato called, I'm trying to pretend to know what it is, but I've forgotten. Hold on, let's see. Fantasio, right? Or Fantasio. It's quite a big tomato. There's against my hand there. The size of, what do you call the one we all love? Elsa Craig and Market Moore, Moneymore. Hopefully that'll ripen because it looks like it's got potential. More peppers in here, but alas, no, just flowers, nothing else. And these are all salvaged tomatoes and cucumbers that are just stuck in that corner, and they're doing rightly. There's those Fantasios again, they're pretty good. So hopefully we'll get something out of those. So there you are folks, that's the greenhouse. It needs a real good cleaning out, which I'm going to do later on today because I'm running out of space. I've started this crack too. What do you see this? How many minutes? 7 minutes. I've started putting these canes back up across the greenhouse to train the cucumbers up along them. And these are going the very best. There's one that's hanging down. I'll train him back up again. He's supposed to be up there. So I'll just clip him back up later on. But this gives them a bit longer season, see what we can get out of them, you know. But as I say, I need to do a lot of pruning because it's getting a bit out of hand in here now. So there you go. Excuse my hoarse voice, but I haven't been able to talk properly since I was sick. I don't know what it did to my throat. And as I say, I'll get this place cleaned up and maybe do another video after I do that. And then I'm going to try and do an outside video. My wife's up there waving at me to come and get my lunch. So I'll do that and do an outside video later on when the wind dies down a bit. All the best now. Bye bye.